How does it feel, all the momentum you got going into your first big road series of the year, big takeaways from this weekend?
The big takeaways for me are that, in my mind, we haven't played very well, but we're 4-0 and we found ways to win each game. So I think our pitching has done an outstanding job of not giving up free bases. But all in all, and the defense has done a good job on not giving them a whole lot of free bases on the errors front. But offensively, we got to get a lot better in every aspect of the game, from two-strike hitting, situational hitting, sacrifice bunts, base running. We got to get a lot better if we're going to be the team we want to be. But at the end of the day, it's a lot easier to address that stuff after you win. So the facts are, I'm proud of the guys for continuing to battle and figuring out ways to win, even though we haven't played that well yet.
You've had 4 relatively low-scoring games. Your starting pitchers haven't given up a run yet. How validating is that, just between you and Sam, kind of the work you guys did in the offseason that's immediately paying off?
That's something that obviously we needed to address, and that's something that obviously we worked very hard on. Our pitching staff has worked extremely hard on, and the biggest thing that I can attribute to is we're not giving up free bases, which is outstanding. I think we had only 2 walks today again, so that wins a lot of games when you don't give up free runners all the time. And so we'll continue hopefully attacking the strike zone and forcing teams to swing the bats to beat us.
Particularly with someone like Hansel, who got 3 innings out of after not really being able to get more than a single inning out of him last year. What does that show specifically for him on his improvement?
Well, I think Josh. We all know the potential that he has. And I still don't believe he had his best stuff tonight. That he was able to execute the pitches when he needed to, and again, the biggest thing for him was just 1 walk. He's forcing guys to swing the bat and beat him. UNLV's put up 41 runs last weekend or whatever it was. Those guys, they can swing the bat a little bit. So, for him to go out there and go 3 shutout to start us off, we knew his pitch count wasn't going to be much more than 45 or 50, and he obviously put up 0, so that was huge for us. And hopefully that's a big confidence booster for him as well personally, because we could certainly use that arm to help us out down the road.
It seemed like last year in a game when you would use more than 6 pitchers, 7 tonight, that was kind of a product of something bad, like a blown lead, or a game was just kind of getting out of hand. Today being a bullpen day and being able to kind of hold one of the more powerful lineups in the nation at bay, how big of a deal is that, and how much does that kind of suggest just growth about the staff overall?
Somebody want to fix that?
Just snooze it. Drop the phone.
I don't think it's on it.
Oh, Noel.
No, there you go.
Oh boy.
Let's do 9 a.m.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, just last year after everything kind of went through with just having to rely on so many
bullpen day.
Yeah, big bullpen day. How big of a deal is that to just have a successful bullpen day, I guess?
I think for us, it's we're able to match up and use the guys in situations that we feel they're going to be most successful, not out of necessity. I think is where a lot of last year's stuff came into play, as we were just trying to get through innings, where now we're trying to actually match guys up in certain situations and who they're going to be best against, based on what their repertoire is. So, for me, that's important to continue defining roles as we go along, and it doesn't mean it's just going to stick with that specifically, but I think the way we're using these guys in a game like today is, the pitch counts aren't extremely high yet still, so we're having to match up and use certain guys for certain hitters in their lineup. So I think that's why the number of pitchers today, and even then, like I said, it's important for our offense to get rolling, hopefully, so we can get some of these younger guys in. It's important for them to get experience, but we're trying to be smart and not put them into a 9th inning tie game situation or a 1-run game to where they have no leeway to make a mistake. So it's important for our offense to cash in on these runs late when we have chances like that, so we can get some of these other guys in as well.
You mentioned you were confident in the depth you had in the outfield when Nick went down over the weekend, but how have you been surprised at what Wyatt's been able to do to start this year off?
Surprised, no. Wyatt, I've seen it all fall, seen it all spring. Kid's a tremendous athlete. He's a winner. You know, I've known the family for a while. I know what they're made of, and he's the right character, the right type of kid to come in and come from a Division II or Division III school where he was at and make the jump. And he's just been an outstanding, dynamic player and doing a great job. So surprised, like I said, not really. I just knowing the kind of kid he is, I'm not expecting to hit 571 all year, but I am expecting him to play well like he's doing.
Talked a little bit about him over the weekend, a lot about him actually, but Luke Hill being, you know, just doing what he's doing, not only at the plate, he looks super comfortable up there, but also just patrolling shortstop is such an important position for you. To be as young as he is and, you know, still look as beyond his years as he looks right now, how validating is that for you to have a guy who's your starting shortstop who's able to do those things in his first year?
Luke's, we knew we were getting something special with him when he came down here on a recruiting trip, and again, goes back to the character piece with him. I think he's a winner. He's a winning player. He's still got a lot to learn. There's still going to be some freshman mistakes along the way, I'm sure, but so far he's off to a great start. He's getting comfortable and really doing a phenomenal job at shortstop, and offensively has been nothing short of outstanding. And situational hitting, moving runners, picking guys up. We had a bunt that wasn't executed, and he came right behind him and got a base hit, drove in an RBI. Those are the things that winning players do. So extremely pleased with what he's done so far.
Specifically with his approach at the plate, he just looks extremely comfortable up there, especially for, you know, a guy who's seeing college pitching for the first time. You kind of seeing the same thing? What are specific things you're picking up with his offensive tendencies?
I think he's the biggest thing why he's having success is he's swinging at strikes and not chasing stuff out of the zone. And I think some of our better, more mature hitters that are, you know, have the track records of being good hitters that's their biggest Achilles heel right now is they're swinging out of the zone, trying to do too much. And he's just up there sticking with his approach and doing what he's supposed to do. So, you know, some of the older guys that are scuffling a little bit, maybe take out a page out of the younger guys' book right now. So, I think that'll be key moving forward for offense to start swinging the better pitches.
We still haven't seen any freshman pitchers. Kind of the time for a soft landing is kind of come and gone. Or you planning on using them at all in Starkville, or is that kind of a?
I'm bringing them with the intent of they better be ready. So, and they're going to get baptized by fire going down there in that environment. So, why not? You know, let's go. And I think it's this is going to be a great experience for those guys. It'll be a great experience for our team. I think that the atmosphere down there will be, you know, the closest thing we'll see, you know, to Omaha. Will be an environment like that. So, to me, that's why I wanted to go down there and experience it. Just to put these guys in a tough situation, in a tough environment where there's a great environment too, against a very good team. So we'll have our work cut out for us certainly, but this is, I mean, that's why you play college baseball. So I'm excited to bring our guys down there and see how they respond to it.
I know it's probably a little too early to kind of look ahead to that series, but based off of what they did this last weekend, is there anything scouting-wise you're kind of picking up on Mississippi State that you guys are really keying in on for the series?
You know, we haven't looked at them a ton. We've just really been focused on San Diego State, and now this game. UNLV handled us twice last year, so we were wanted to make sure we did our due diligence and try to get this game, and then we'll turn the page and look at Mississippi State. But you know, they're obviously talented team. They're always pretty dang good, and like I said, the environment will be, I'm sure it'll be rocking and be a lot of fun. So you know, our guys will be ready to play.
Coach, my apologies if you didn't ask this already, but with a bullpen game like this, how much confidence can you take from some of the performances that you got from, you know, several different guys that you threw out there on the mound?
You know, it's been good and refreshing kind of to match some of these guys up in situations where they can be successful, at least that we feel like, and use certain guys in different roles versus, as I said before, kind of out of necessity, which we had to do in the past. We're kind of trying to put them in specific spots where we think they can be successful. And It's not going to be right all the time, but in our mind, it's giving these guys a continued chance to be who they are, and then hopefully their roles will continue to grow as they get better.
With Josh in particular, had kind of a rough season last year, made some improvements this offseason that Coach Braza has talked about. What did you see from him out there, and do you expect sort of three clean innings from him like that? He walked one guy and gave up one hit, so I certainly don't mind the base hit, and it's going to happen obviously, but attacking the zone is the big thing for him. He trusts in his stuff. And again, you ask him, but I've seen much more electric and better stuff from him. But the main thing was he was attacking the zone, didn't beat himself. And that's something that got him in trouble in the past. So as long as we can get him throwing strikes and using his repertoire the way he's capable, I got all the confidence in the world in him to go out and get it done. So hopefully this outing starts building confidence with him as well, and he realizes that he can do this. He shut down a pretty good hitting team. UNLV put up a lot of runs last weekend. They're capable of swinging the bats very well, and he threw the heck out of it against them. So hopefully that's a confidence builder for him.
Going to that 7th inning after you guys gave up the first UNLV runs of the game for the offense to come back with 2 of its own to kind of match UNLV. How big do you think that was within the course of this game?
I think the turning point of that for me was the back pick that Campy had at second base. That's a play that probably goes unnoticed by most, but that really was the turning point, I think, of that whole game. You could just sense the momentum. We got flat offensively. The momentum started shifting a little bit to their side. So for our offense to come back and put up a couple that half, I still think we left a couple out there. It would have been nice to throw the knockout punch right there and really put them away, but we like to make things interesting. So, like I said, we got a lot to clean up, but it's nice to come out on top.
Should we expect to see Toby getting a night off on a lefty starter more going forward, or is that kind of something you're experimenting with?
No, to me that was just I wanted to get New back in there. I wanted to get Johnny Weaver in there again after the game-winning hit he had on Sunday. I anticipated pinch hitting, at some point in time, Toby there. The situation didn't come up. I could have pinch hit him potentially for Johnny there, but I wanted Johnny to get the bunt down. Ultimately that didn't happen, but I trust Johnny. Johnny's going to get that done most of the time. And but I was looking for spots to hit Toby there and get him back in the game, but the situation didn't present itself really. So. But no, I'm not going to make a habit of that on not having him play against left-handers. It was just kind of trying to keep the main guys involved, and we're going to need not only the guys that have been playing the first 4 games, but we're going to need some other ones too to step up. So just trying to find situations to keep everybody sharp.
I know it's still early, but I just wanted to check in on the status of the closing role. He looks at Jesse with Brock tonight. Where is that, and do you anticipate maybe even just mixing and matching them at the end of games this season?
I think the good news is we have a couple guys that are capable of doing it. So maybe we might close one of them on Friday and the other one on Saturday, or vice versa. I think it's again kind of matching up who we think is going to be best against particular lineup or particular guys. Brock has been outstanding against right-handers in specific. And Jesse has been really good against left-handers, and he's been good against right-handers too. But I think it's one of those things that we have guys that are capable of doing it, which is nice. Now it's just a matter of can we bridge and get to them. And there might be times where we bring in Brock early too, if we need a double play situation, or a string of right-handers that are coming up and we need a ground ball. He might be finding himself in the game in the 5th or 6th. So to me, it's just piecing things together, and the roles will eventually work themselves out, I guess.
For Brock in particular, he had a game, I believe it was last year in Vegas, against this similar UNLV team where he had that wild pitch to end it. Was there anything that you thought, went into that now, or is it just a very, very much new Brock period?
I've forgotten about that. So, by choice, maybe, I forgot about that. So, he's, Brock more than atoned for any mistakes he had really last year with the job he did as a whole. I think he was a guy that we're confident in, a guy that we can trust to close, a guy trust to come in and big situations, get us a ground ball, get us a strikeout. He loves pressure situations. He loves the adrenaline. So I'm confident in him. I think his whole team's confident in him too.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Willie.